my name is Mohd HILMAN bin ABDUL, CD 210138. For the piston, piston are component of reciprocating engine, reciprocating pump, gas compressor, hydraulic cylinder, and pneumatic cylinder, among other related systems. For number 2, the piston rod and or connecting rod serve the purpose of transmitting force from the expanding gas in the cylinder to the crankshaft in engine. For point number 3, piston function by transferring the force created by an expanding gas in the cylinder to the crankshaft, which then provides rotational momentum to the flywheel. For point number 4, piston function by transferring the force created by an expanding gas in the cylinder to the crankshaft, which then provides rotational momentum to the flywheel. For the project background, as the research has been going, we have found out that there are several manufacturing processes that could be used in order to produce the whole piston. Before the decision is made, there are a few variables that should be considered before making such a decision. Before one wrong step could cause a million of losers. The criteria are: number 1, the division and specialization of human labor. For number 2, the use of tools and machinery. For number 3, cost of extracting material. Last but not least, market value. For problem statement, number 1, the piston must be to a set of specifications and standards, including those related to performance, robustness, production costs, and the use of human labor. For point number 2, comparing the benefits and drawbacks of each procedure outlined, we can determine which approach is the best, because it is the most dependable and convenient to use. All data will be entered into the internet and a journal that can be accessed online. For number 3, they are unique from other pistons and have an impact on the engine's performance. The piston dimension need to be closely monitored. For the objective, to determine the manufacturing process of proton X70 pistons connecting rod. Number 2, to determine which process has the most and the least time consuming. For number 3, to determine whether the processes listed are suitable for pistons manufacturing. Number 4, to find out which of the process has better advantages in mass production. For number 5, to calculate the cost and labor energy needed in each manufacturing process. Next, to identify the process that has the most advantage and the least disadvantages by measuring some of the variables listed. Lastly, to understand how much the process affect the piston's performance, as it might affect its durability for it to be functioning under high stress.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Muhammad Arif bin Muhammad Ali, metric card number CD 2082. So today I'll explain about detailed explanation of Proton X70 1.5 liter piston and rod. Okay, the Proton X70 has a 1.5 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. The 1.5 liter engine has a cylinder capacity of 1,477 cubic centimeters. The 1.5 liter engine produced 177 horsepower and 255 Newton meter torque. It has an engine mated to 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Then for the piston and the rod are two most important components in Proton X70 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. The piston and rod are made of lightweight materials that are strong and durable, designed to be very precise with tight tolerances. It works together to convert the pressure on the combustion gases into rational forces. Critical component of the engine and need to be kept in a good condition. Next, I will explain about the design of piston. So as you can see on the picture, this is the example of the piston we use. So this is piston, as you can see here, there is piston crown, top compression ring, oil control ring, wrist pane, snap ring, piston skirt, connecting rod shaft, bearings, connecting rod cap, connecting rod bolts. This is all are the most important component in a piston. Next, the key design element of a piston. First is the shape. So pistons are generally cylindrical in shape with a flat or slightly convex top surface known as the crown, as I showed earlier. Next is the skirt. The skirt is the portion of the piston that contacts the cylinder walls. It is typically cylindrical or slightly tapered. Next is the piston ring. Piston rings are mounted in grooves on the outer surface of the piston. They provide a seal between the piston and the cylinder walls. Next, piston pin, or some other places called wrist pin. It connects the piston to the connecting rod. The piston pin allows the pin to pivot and move freely as the connecting rod transfer motion between the piston and the crankshaft. And the next is material. So pistons are typically made of lightweight and high-strength material, such as aluminium alloy, or in some cases, it uses metal. Next, the material of piston. So the piston must be durable and lightweight because pistons are produced from cast or forged high temperature resistant aluminium silicon alloy. There are three basic types of aluminium piston alloy. The standard piston alloy is exotic at 12% silicon alloy containing in approximated 1% of copper, nickel, and magnesium. Next is hypercritic alloys with the 80 and 24% aluminium silicon provide lower thermal expansion and wear, but have lower strength. Next, application of piston. So piston can be used in internal combustion engine. The second one is hydraulic system. The third one is piston in a steam engine of a train. And the last one is piston in automation, such as pneumatic piston snucker.
Diamond casting is a process also known as a lost-works casting. It is a method used to produce a complex metal pipe with high accuracy with excellent surface finish. Here's a step-by-step overview of how the investment casting process typically works. First is the pattern creation. The process begins with the creation of a pattern, which is an exact replica of the desired pipe. Next, assembly of pattern. Multiple patterns are attached to a wax gating system, which consists of channels and sprues. The structures help facilitate the flow of the water vapor and the escape of gases during casting. And next is the investment mode. The assembly of pattern is dipped and coated with the ceramic slurry. The slurry adheres to the pattern, creation of ceramic shell around it. Okay, that is the waxing. Once the ceramic shell has dried and hardened, the entire assembly is heated to a high temperature to melt and remove the wax or other pattern material. That is preheating. The ceramic shell is preheated to eliminate any remaining moisture and increase its strength. These steps help to prevent cracking during the casting process. That is melting and pouring. The preheated ceramic shell is placed in a furnace or a casting flask or securely held in position. Next is solidification. The molten metal fills the cavity in the ceramic shell, taking the shape of desired pipe when the assembly is allowed to cool and solidify. Next is shell removal. After the metal has solidified or cooled, the ceramic shell is broken or removed. This can be done through mechanical means such as vibration or sandblasting. Next is finishing. The cast part may require additional finishing processes such as grinding, polishing, or heat treatment to achieve the desired dimensional accuracy. Next is inspection and quality control. The finishers part undergo thorough inspection to ensure they meet the required specifications. Next, machining and assembly. If necessary, the cast parts may undergo further machine operation to achieve higher tolerance or to add features not possible to the casting process. Finally, the parts are assembled into the final product if applicable. Next is the application of investment casting. Some industry that are using investment casting are power generation, aerospace, automotive, medical, specifically in orthopedics, oil and gas, agriculture, space exploration, construction, consumer and commercial products.
Next, I'll explain about manufacturing process for special limited production using fogging process. So, manufacturing process that is suitable for special or limited production for piston is fogging because it use high speed and high RPM application. Because fogging also refers to a deformation of metal at the fogging temperature required shape through a compressive force. Fogging is like other process for shaping metals, improve the microstructure of a metal by removing hidden flaws such as hair cracks and voids. Fogging is a very popular method in the metal forming process because of its many qualities advantage comparing to casting and machining. So this is the method of fogging. First, the rod will be cut for the aluminium. It's lightweight, rust-proof, and easy to cut into small pieces called slugs. Next is the punch step. So the punch is a press and die of preheated while slug move through a oven, heating it to 426 degrees Celsius. Then the slug is removed from the oven and then placed to the punch, and the press is applied up to 2,000 tons. Then the, the the slug will be put into the oven. After the fogging cooling down, they through oven twice more. The first time at a high temperature to strengthen the metal, and the second time is at lower temperature to stabilize it. Next, the fourth step is the wrist pin hole and oil control holes at the piston. So a large hole will be drilled through both sides of the piston, and oil control holes are drilled along the piston. Next, the ring groups. So 3 ring groups are created by a lathe machine. So that the last step is the finishing job. So the lathe shave a few 4 millimeters of the top, allowing the piston to expand when heat built inside it. Then a machine engraves a model or production information such as the company name or the production code number. So easy to refer at future. And finally, this piston will be sprayed by hot and deionized water, removing any lubricant or oil gathered through the manufacturing process. After they are dry, they are ready for use. Next, the application of product made from fogging. So from the application is automotive. So for parts for the auto sector, such as I told just now, is a piston, kingpins, ball joints, and steering arm. Next, in the agriculture sector, it requires study parts, machinery components, and connected to survive farm labor and harsh climates. Next, the hand tools like hammers, pliers, wrench, and garden tools. And the last one is for the industrial equipment. So to make the metal part and product in any business such as textile, paper, power, and chemical are produced.
My name is Muhammad Amin bin AZMI. My matrix number CD210068. So I'm gonna talk about process for shell molding, which is about homemade casting. So basic of the shell molding is supporting both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Shell molding is a molding process that's characterized by the use of a sand-based mold. After the shell has been formed, any excess sand is removed from the mold and either discarded or saved for other applications. The shell is then removed from the mold, which typically occurs using ejector pin. The ejector pins are built into the mold itself, allowing companies to easily remove the newly created shell without damage. So there are 6 types of shell molding process. So there are six steps. So the first one is creating the pattern. The second is creating the mold, and then third, assembly of pattern parts. Fourth, exposure to molten metal. Fifth, wait to cool, and the last one is ejecting the casting. Like the pictures that are appeared in the slide. The application or products made from the shell molding So the process has better dimensional accuracy, a higher productivity rate, and a lower labor requirements. It is often used for small to medium parts that require high precision. Shell mold casting is used for both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. So the example or the product, the application that we can apply from shell molding, which is the casting of small mechanical parts that requires high level of precision, like example the cylinder head, connecting rod, and gear housing. Production of high precision molding cores like engine block water jackets, and the other application includes refrigerator valve lid, the small parts of anything with the shell molding, like automobile transmission parts, chain seat brackets.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Muhammad ARIF bin MARZUKI and I will talk about discussion. For the cost of investment casting, it is cheaper than forging but expensive than shell mold. For the forging, it is expensive compared to investment casting and shell mold. And for the shell mold, it is expensive than investment casting but cheaper than forging. For the cycle time are longer due to the nature of process for the investment casting. For the forging, cycle time are extremely short, and for the cycle time of shell mold, cycle time are moderately short. And next, the dimensional of investment casting. Dimensional accuracy decrease as size part increase. For the forging, low dimensional accuracy. And for the shell mold, it is extremely precise that can hold dimension to 0.001 inches. And for the surface finishing, investment casting has an excellent surface finishing that can be achieved. For the forging, surface finishing may have the roughness on the surface. And for the shell mold, it has a very good surface finishing. And next, for the production volume. For the investment casting, low production run may be cheaper. And for the forging, a very high volume gives good effective cost. And for the shell mold, moderately production volume. And for the conclusion, it can be concluded that we were able to achieve the project's objective. We have been learning a lot about the pistons and its manufacturing procedure over the research period. The Proton X70 piston, whose particular design aspects set it apart from other designs, is one of which we have been working. And the investment casting is the best manufacturing method compared to the shell mold and the forging that have been listed because it is sustainable and effective at producing good in large quantities. There is a lot of flexibility with investment casting, since it can manufacture items that could not build with a machine or equipment by merging multiple wax patterns to create one unique mold. It is a potential alternative to weldments. Dimensional precision and immaculate finishing are additional benefits of these casting techniques. That's all from us. Thank you.